what I want to do now is get into what this course is about. It's something that I came up with, so I'm gonna break it down, and this is for you to consider. This is for you to consider for friends or people you're connected to who may want to take advantage of it. And it's also for you to, maybe learn or relearn some things that maybe you have left behind over time. So let's talk about the what first. So this is a digital course. It's 6 weeks that it's going to last for. And classes are going to be twice a week. It's going to be taught by myself digitally. So it's going to be something that, we interact online. And the course is going to be classes twice a week. And, obviously homework, assignments in between, email correspondence, everything like that to keep the ties and keep connected to the material. And it's going to be, the title is Happiness Decoded. So I basically created a formula for achieving lifetime happiness. Most people have a concept. That's why I asked those questions before. Most people have a certain concept of what happiness is. And a lot of times it's attached to external stimuli. So, I'll be happy once I get this car, or I'll be happy once I get this particular mate, or I'll be happy when I get this condo, or everything, and it shifts. So it's a constant rat race. You're not at liberty to contain happiness because it's connected to circumstances. And we don't control circumstances. So how do we control happiness? We control the internal climate of what happiness is on a continuous basis, on an everyday basis, so that when we get hit with life, we respond in a certain way and bounce back fast enough that we don't sink into depression that lasts months, weeks, or waste emotions and our physical body on just deterioration based on whatever life throws at us. So I created this 3 P's, and there's a specific order to them. So let me show you what it looks like. So as you can see, psychology is in the middle, purpose, and then partnerships, right? Psychology, purpose, and partnerships. So this is me over time, just scanning through. I'll get to the backstory in a minute, but this is me just collecting data over my personal life experiences, watching the experiences of others, certain resilience factors, adaptation, things like that. And I narrowed it down to those 3. Now, the first would be psychology, right? The reason there's 3 is that I don't believe if you isolate and hit a peak with just one or just 2, you'll be consumed, your happiness will be consumed by the other. So if you just get your psychology right, get your mental health popping, right, you can still be taken down by your if you have toxic partnerships, romantic or otherwise. And if you don't have a life purpose, that will deteriorate your mental health over time. And then vice versa. If you, let's say, you have your purpose down, but your psychology's off, you will self-sabotage your pursuit of your purpose, and you'll never reach it. And then so I did a lot of running through, and I came up with these 3 that are stable, but you have to work on all 3. So in this course, I go through. Let's start with number 1, psychology. Everyone has a certain psychology. So you may have childhood trauma. You may have adulthood infidelities that affect you. You may just be a person with a cool upbringing, but being that the country you're in, the news, everything outside influences you in a certain way, and which it has been with everybody to a certain degree. So certain levels of fear certain self-esteem issues, anxiety, abandonment, all these different things, and they play a part in controlling your level of happiness. So what I do is I find out what your core beliefs are. So we go into childhood, all of your major events, your major elevations, and I kind of tap into what things sort of formed your personality and perspective now, and we balance your belief system so that your mental health is balanced. And then we talk about coping skills. We talk about different things like that to kind of help balance the psychology aspect of it. So second, now we talk about purpose. Some years ago, I came up with a formula to find your purpose. So I'll trace back, and this will be part of the assignments, but I'll trace back your first memories, things that you enjoy doing, social feedbacks, cultural aspects, shows that you watch. I take a full inventory of everything I possibly can and compile all that and spit out a certain industry, a certain direction as far as the purpose goes. So that means your whole life, I believe everybody's whole life is comprised of certain events, certain specific upbringings, family members, environments, likes, dislikes that lead them to a certain purpose. And unfortunately, a lot of people haven't found it. So I know how to find it because I found my own. All of this I've done to myself. I'm the first guinea pig for this experiment. So, matter of fact, everybody type a 1 so I can make sure the connection's still good. I want to make sure everybody's still here and that the Wi-Fi is not bugging in there. So everybody type a 1 for me. All right, good. We got 1, 2. I just need 1 or 2 more. All right, so it must be good enough. So we'll keep going. So we did the psychology aspect. So purpose. I compile all this information together. All right, Jillian, I got you. I compile all this information together, and I spit out a certain industry and certain skill set that you have. So once you find what your purpose is, that pretty much sustains you career-wise for the rest of your life, because we're living in a time now where no matter what it is, there's a niche and there's a way to become an entrepreneur and to be successful at whatever that is. You could love balloon animals, and I could find that out and say, all right, let's figure out how to get you at these birthday parties worldwide and just set up some kind of just hugely successful business, because the longevity's there. You're not going to tire out. It's a passion. And so that is the second stage. So we'll get you not only balanced psychologically, but and able to become almost like your own therapist. Because there's going to be like a checklist or like a follow-up at the end of the course that you'll be able to print out, take with you, and just basically have an idea of how to get yourself back up when your mood drops, and have control over your thoughts and mastery of your mind. So that's psychology and purpose. Now the third thing is partnerships, and by that I mean romantic partnerships and platonic partnerships, because both can destroy you, and both can elevate you at the same time. So let's talk romantic first. If you know anything about what I've been doing online, you know that I've been speaking a lot about choosing the right mate. I've been preaching that for 10 years or something. And there's a huge importance to that, because that's the person you want to spend a lifetime with. You don't have marriages for friendships. You have marriages for your romantic partner, because that's who you want to last the longest with. So if you're gonna bring somebody on and draft somebody into the household for the rest of your life, you definitely don't want them to be an enemy or have any kind of anything that's not equally yoked to you. So you don't want them to be somebody that's going to undermine your success or destroy those other factors, psychology and purpose. You don't want anybody to do that. So I encourage people to be very picky when it comes to that. So with the partnerships aspect, I talk about not only how to choose the right partner, but to know what's right or wrong for you, why you're attracted to certain types, what in your past is connected to how people show up around you energetically, certain types show up around you, why you fall for certain types. And that's why the psychology is first, because once we get a clear idea and a recalibration there, when you'll start to attract different people around you, and you're not going to give certain people the time of day because you're going to know exactly who they are, what their intentions are, and you'll be secure enough and complete and whole enough to be able to deny people based on red flags and not get sucked in based on having a desperate need to have somebody. So that's crucial, because I know we're all tired of the toxic relationships and situations and drama and all of that. So to get you to a place to receive the one, because this course is definitely not going to let's see, this course isn't gonna give produce the one out of a chamber, but it's gonna help you create the fertile ground internally to be able to meet the right person. So I want to see what Tamika says. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely successes. Out like when people meet early and definitely don't have the tools or the wherewithal to be able to connect, but they just happen to connect and thrive and live, and that's definitely a beautiful thing. But for those of us who are now single and looking to create a beautiful life with somebody who's partnered correctly, we definitely don't want to marry out of our pathology. We want to marry out of our completeness and wholeness. So that's where I would take that. So that aspect of the course will be dedicated to creating that fertile ground to attract and meet the one out of love and not out of a need to fill a hole or to patch a void that was created by other circumstances in the past. And then also to partnerships dealing with friends. So we often hear about the friends we have from the sandbox, or I've known them since kindergarten, or I've known them since grad school, college. They were friends. My dad and his dad were friends or something, or they were there for me a long time ago when such and such happened. So I keep them around, or we're close. So I show people how to scrutinize. What's up, Tony? To scrutinize their friendships and their connections that they have, and to make sure that they don't have anybody around them who can negatively influence their progress, because we've all had somebody who is around us and they do not respond properly to our successes. So I'm a big advocate for evolution and growth, and I plan to do that for the rest of my life. Now, if my friends see this and see me passing them in certain ways or do comparisons or things like that, and they have an insecurity about that, and they make that insecurity known in a passive aggressive way, or maybe they sabotage something I'm doing, I don't really need that. Like, I don't think anybody else needs that either. I think, really what we need is people around us who are willing and thirsty to grow with us, and who you can back and forth, kick knowledge back and forth, and grow each other together, just like you would in a marriage. There's a lot of commonalities between both. Partnerships, romantic partnerships, and platonic partnerships. You want somebody who's going to grow with you, who has your back. There's a level of loyalty there. Now, am I advising that you totally clean your slate and knock off everybody off your list, and do some kind of spring cleaning basketball tryout cuts or something like that? No, but in the course, I'll be able to show you. Miss Ready to Boss, how you doing? Miss LaBird is in here. So I'm not suggesting that, but I am suggesting a restructuring of basically how you conduct yourself and who you allow to influence you from a close distance, from a close proximity. So the why behind all of this in this particular course is it was developed over time. In one of my videos, I mentioned it's 14 years in the making, because my mom was murdered in 2005, and that was really that was the biggest turning point in my life, because I was in college at the time. I was a few days from going home to see them, my family, from college and everything like that. I stayed on campus to just handle some stuff, and so when somebody that close to you is taken from you so swiftly, it's difficult to deal with. And I didn't really take a break. I went like straight to grad school, and studied there, got graduated there, and moved back east and things like that. So I was kind of isolated for a while when I really needed to be around family. But that situation, the way I dealt with it was to figure out a way to dedicate the rest of my life to something that she stood for, or something that she wanted me to do, or something that she wanted to be carried out. And the most emotional that I've seen her was one particular time. I was in the car with her as a teenager. We were going home. We get to the driveway, and she parked the car, but she didn't get out. She didn't turn it off. We were having a conversation, and I noticed that she started tearing up, and I was like, but the nature of the conversation I didn't think was sad, so I didn't know why that was happening. And then she said, the sky's the limit for you. She called me Marky. That was my nickname. And she was like, the sky's the limit for you. You can do whatever you put your mind to. I want you to find what you're here for, and give that to the world. And like, I didn't understand at the time why she was crying, but I do now. And after she passed, I spent a lot of time, just kind of reflecting, and mourning, and taking the impact. But I wanted to do something at the same time. And I started to go over all she said. That moment clicked, because I was very emotionally connected and in tune with my mom for a lot of reasons. A lot of things happened before to where I clicked in with her. And that stood out. So once that stood out, I said, okay, I'm dedicating the rest of my life to figuring this out. So who am I for real? What is my purpose? What am I here to do? And how do I figure that out? Because I got different interests, talents, things. Like, how do I rein that in and give that to the world in a way where I can touch as many people as I possibly can? And I've never stopped. And I've ran into, survived there was a shootout in North Carolina. I got arrested 3 times. Like, I was homeless. I was living in the car. in and out of offices, couch to couch, just all a bunch of different places, financial crisis, you name it, just multiple situations. But the difference was, it didn't stop me. It didn't stop anything, because all of it was less than that loss for me. And even today, it still feels fresh. It doesn't, there's a surreal aspect to it, but it feels fresh, man. That was my mom. Like, we were really extremely close. And so that's why I constantly work the way I do. That's why I give the way I give. And that's why I connect the way I connect with people. And I'm not finished. I have a lot more to give and to present and to help. And that's really, that's really the why behind everything that I'm doing. So just so so you have an idea. So at this point, you have an idea of what the course is. And it, for the people, there's gonna be people watching the playback and everything like that, which is cool. But feel free to DM me for more information. And like I said in the beginning, it's something that it may be right for you, or it may be right for somebody that somebody you're close to. And the who is people who are unfulfilled with their career, with their 9 to 5, who struggle with depression, who struggle with anxiety, who struggle with relationship issues, patterns, running into the same types of people over and over again, not able to find some stability internally, and who are just victims of blockage, whether that's fear, whether that's self-esteem issues, abandonment issues, anything that's holding you back. If happiness seems elusive to you, I made sure in creating this course that it can cover everything, because I want this to be damn near 3 courses in one, because we don't have a lot of time. Like, as you can see, as things are progressing and things are happening in the world, and it's time to go. It's time to move. It's time to get everything right, so everybody can be successful in their respective lives. Everybody can find their purpose and be the light that they're supposed to be. Crack that open, and so that the diamond can come out, and it can shine amongst everybody, whatever whatever industry that's in, whatever field that's in. Let's get in there now. Let's clear the mess out. Let's make sure that you can be the best possible person that you can be, so you can shine for other people and influence the next and the next and the next. And I think that's what we're here to do. We're here to get the purpose. We're here to be balanced psychologically, and we're here to create solid partnerships that advance us, the culture, the community, society, and just everybody around us. So that's why there's a sense of urgency in my heart for doing this. In April, not a coincidence, my mom's birthday is April the 30th. So April is always a dedication month for me to do something for the people, something that will help in a major way. Just get people inspired and be able to make some changes, because there's enough going on. I talked earlier about the Nipsey funeral, and to be honest, I didn't know that was today. And I was gonna say it's an accident, but there's, if you're in the know, there are no accidents. And I believe, the energy from what he was setting out to do coincides with the energy that I want people to help maintain, because it's about advancement, it's about betterment. And all of you guys in here have something special to give, something unique to give. And some of you may be knee deep in that now. Some of you may know what it is now, and be moving towards it. And that's amazing. And maybe some people that you do know may be struggling with that. So that's why I'm here. That's what the purpose of this live was for. I want to do this again because I know some people couldn't make it at this time and may have to catch it on the playback and things like that. But what you can do from here forward is, if you're interested or if you know somebody who is or who can benefit, shoot me a DM. And what I would do next is be able to schedule a call, to basically have a conversation with whoever's interested, to answer the questions, kind of give more of an insight on what the course would be like, how it would be structured, and talk the business aspects and things like that, and also add anything that they would want to add to it, because there is a fluid nature. Like, I have a structure, but I want to help cater it to the people who will be joining me in the course. So if there's specific things that they're going through, they want me to touch on, I'll do that, no problem. And like I said before, I want to end on a note by sending everybody off with a specific checklist that they can have as their go-to coping, just day to day. So whenever their mood drops, they can kick it right back up, because you got to stay in that top level state for the best things to happen, to be the most productive, the most fulfilled. You want to keep yourself on that high naturally, and that's what I want everybody to leave with. So any questions before I go? I want to give anybody a chance to ask anything that they would want to ask before I get out of here. Yeah, Miss LaBird's getting busy. She's always got something special going on. Helping the people, just keeping that movement and that energy going forward, because it's no time to stop. It's no time to stop. There's no time to play games. There's no time to procrastinate or just wait for anything to happen. Now's the time to take control of the happiness that you deserve. There's a certain divine right that you have by being born, and that's to be happy and to experience the abundance that life is here to give you. One thing that I put in the caption is that I don't think happiness is about how to find your wings, but how to figure out what's holding you down, because you were born with the wings. It's just a matter of how to get the other things off of me so I can fly like I was born to do. And those things can be many. They can be a little bit, they can be many. They can surround you. They can be controlling your actions and perspectives in ways that you don't even realize yet. And that's another reason why this course is important, is because credential wise, I have a master's in clinical psychology, so it's not anything that is completely from experience, just personal experience. I was trained as well, and there are aspects that maybe I might be able to point out that are becoming walls for you being happy or being successful that you might not see. So in essence, there's value there. There's definitely value there. I think Tamika said something before. Let me see. Yeah, our Tamika, our relational selves are definitely important, and it's about much more than you know just doing the self work, and that's why moving through the course, and then at the end, when you see your, even over throughout the process, you'll see yourself in the dating process and experiencing people in a different way, because of that advanced knowledge, because of that familiarizing yourself again with your higher self and intuition, which may have been blocked over time, which happens. So getting to that space and being able to have that back and forth with people, it's almost like a new perspective. The more knowledge you get, the more differently you move in connection to other people. The more things you won't listen to, and the more lies you'll be able to point out. The less time you'll spend with certain people. So it's just about overall evolution. So all right. So before I head out, I just want to say, everybody, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy yourselves. Stay positive. Definitely send this information or tag or connect this to a loved one or somebody who is interested in making those changes and having that guidance, to get where they want to go. And join me again. I'll set up another one. We'll chop it up. We'll have a conversation, and I'll be able to break down more, and answer more questions as well. So everybody in the room, I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.